Dealing with the realm of deadly delusions. Deadly delusions cuddle up to us like warm and fuzzy stuffed animals with retractable fangs. At first, they can be so warm and cuddly, the glowing melt of social boundaries with those first few drinks, the infatuation that makes your heart lip sync the greatest top 40 hits of all time. Deadly delusions begin as a sugar rush of neon colored cartoons of ecstatic victory erupting like fireworks in the night sky. At the top of the parabola, the rocket's red glare burns out. Gravity taps you on the shoulder and shoves you into an empty elevator shaft. But if you're lucky, you might get to spiral downward in a vortex of tragic magic that at least gives you moments to reflect. But if you don't learn and change, the tragic magic of grand disaster shrinks into putrefying stagnation and mundane misery. You probably know what your deadly delusions are. If you don't know, that's the most deadly delusion of all. Just like we all have cancer cells, but most of us don't currently have cancer, deadly delusions might be contained, in remission, or in various states of play, ranging from subtle self-sabotage to fatal addiction to metastasizing collective psychosis. Perhaps, like me, you're a survivor of deadly delusions, but not currently being run by one. The price of freedom from deadly delusions is eternal vigilance. But even if your deadly delusions are currently in remission, Thanatos, this was a god of death, but Freud posited Thanatos, a death drive, as the opposing force to libido, which is closer to a life drive. The death drive is fully active in others who may wreck your family, community, country, or planet. Currently, as I revise this card in the USA in 2024, collective psychosis is rampant on both the left and the right and exacerbating each other. And that is a potentially lethal problem. What Jung called mass man, collectivized people I sometimes call the hollow folk, are always under the influence of deadly delusions of one sort or another. Mass man is often in a stampeding herd state, a where we go one, we go all state, as the motto of QAnon puts it. Deluded by fundamentalisms, ideologies, and twisted conspiracy theories, they boil over in a roid rage of righteous indignation and group hatred as they stampede toward the cliff's edge. Deadly delusions often come with a grand undertaker, a charismatic soul guide luring you into hell. Such darkly alluring soul guides could be a manipulative boyfriend or girlfriend, a guru, a populist demagogue, the Orange Goblin still in play during this revision, a cult leader, etc. The dark soul guide doesn't have to be human. It can also be any object of fruitless obsession, addiction, or compulsion. Consider the storyline of Performance. Nicholas Roeg's 1968 film was released in 1970 about the encounter of a fugitive gangster, Chaz, played by James Fox, with an androgynous dissolute rock star, Turner, played by Mick Jagger. Huge plot spoiler coming, so if you think you might want to see this movie, skip the next few minutes. At first, Turner appears to be the dark trickster soul guide, and Chaz is given hallucinogens, magic mushrooms, without his knowing or permission, and then seduced into a world of promiscuous pansexuality. So this kind of like a hippie household, and they think that they're, successfully toying with and transforming this gangster type. But Chaz is not merely playing darkness like a satanic verse reciting androgynous rock star. He's a real-life gangster. He works with darkness full-time and is very good at violence. Turner thinks he's the charismatic undertaker, the androgynous rock star character, but Chaz concisely reverses their roles by putting a bullet in Turner's head. This fate is typical of those who revel in the power and glamour of identifying themselves with the role of dark soul guide. There's always someone darker and more deadly. Consider this an auspicious time to employ the will and eternal vigilance to resist the allure of deadly delusions and the dark magicians who wield them.